We are going to paint a very interesting misty scene that is sort of pine forest in mist, and you can frame it. I think it would be a very amazing forest painting, and you can gift it or hang it from your wall. I start painting using a water spray, and then using a flat brush I pre-mix the surface, then using a very pale blue color, or if you're interested you can use other colors like purple or even sort of grayish color, grayish green, etc. For the background I'm using the same pale color till the very bottom of the page. For a while I will let it to dry. Now the surface is almost dried, and I start painting using a mixture of blue, green and a bit of white color to make it sort of grayish blue green color for the distant trees. So the mixture is ready, and I do the same job that we have learned in pine tree. And if you haven't seen the pine tree lesson, I strongly recommend you to review all the secrets, all the tips and tricks that I've shared on that lesson. So I start with a very tiny vertical line that will be the trunk. Then using the wavy shapes I try to paint the branches, keeping your mind that you must avoid repetitive shapes and repetitive rhythms, and do everything very rapidly. Try to avoid hesitating too much. Now it's time to do the third distant tree. I do the same job for all of them, and then yeah, it's now finished. While all of them are still wet, I add more of pure water to my brush and try to dilute the color towards the bottom of the paper. Once again I add more pure water to my color, to my brush, and continue painting downward the page. I'm diluting the same amount of the color, so it makes a sense of mist or a fog down the distant trees. And using a flat brush and pure water, I will solve, and I will try to eliminate the hard edges of the distant trees. Now it's time to paint a near pine trees. I start from a narrow vertical line that would be the main trunk. Then using wavy movements I'm going to add the sub branches and branches of the tree. The color is a mixture of violet, some green and some brown, and I try to keep it darker to make sense of perspective or atmosphere in painting. I also add some more blue, that is in fact Pruss blue. As usual I'm using the same palette, half warm color, half cool colors, and the technique is the same as we mentioned in pine tree lesson. So I paint the main trunk, then I paint the main branch and then add the leaves down the branches. So this is a technique, keeping in mind that the overall shape must be a triangle, not a tent or other thing. So I avoid repetitive shapes and also try to avoid fish bones. Fish bones are very destructive. So I am going to mix other colors like some green, some brown to make more interest and color variation. That's all. And as you can see, the branches are not in the same line. Some of them are inward, some of them are outward. It makes more interesting shapes and it makes more interesting results than the result would be eye-catching and eye-appealing. And now I'm going to paint the second tree. I start from the very main trunk with a very tiny line. If you are not feeling comfortable with a large brush or medium size brush, try to start painting of the trunk using a very tiny brush, then change your brush with an appropriate size. Or you may use a very large or medium sized brush, but keeping in mind that the very tip of it must be needle like. It's very important. So I'm doing the same job, and to make more interest, sometimes here and there I add some brown to the mixture, and also some violet, even some alizarin crimson, red color, to make it darker and more interesting. But try to mix the colors on the paper so that they are not separated, and make a mixture of combination, sense of combination between the bold shape, dark shapes. I'm using the negative forms to make the near tree understandable and recognizable. And in some areas also I'm using the dark color to emphasize on the branches of the second tree. So that's all for this lesson, and now it's time to do the magic. I'm going to remove the adhesive tapes, and wow, this is the magic. This is the real magic. I hope you have enjoyed this painting. You can now paint this scene and give it as a gift to who you love, and you may be interested to hang it on your wall as a sign of yourself. If you're interested, please subscribe and also share my videos with your friends and others.